When we look at social media, we see so many bodybuilders hitting the stage with completely different physiques. But what are the categories that actually set them apart? What kind of physical requirements does each category demand? I'm Mr. Creatine. If you're ready, sit back and listen up. Men's Open. Held since 1965, this is Mr. Olympia's most prestigious and popular category. It's also known as the place where mass and aesthetics come together. The goal is to unleash the maximum amount of muscle mass the human anatomy can carry onto the stage, with the lowest possible fat and water levels. When competitors take the stage, the judges examine 7 mandatory poses. These include ones we all know, like the double biceps, the lat spread, and the side chest. What the judges are really looking for here isn't pure size. It's muscle striation, symmetry between muscle groups, and the command a competitor has over their body while posing on stage. There's no weight limit in this category. Competitors typically step on stage weighing between 115 and 135 kilograms in shredded condition. But the biggest physical and biological limitation in this category is what's known as bubble gut, a distended stomach caused by organ growth from insulin and growth hormone (HGH) use. Judges instantly rule out any competitor whose waist has thickened and who can't control his midsection. The biological limit, meanwhile, is the left ventricular hypertrophy the heart develops from pumping blood to such an enormous mass. When it comes to names that made history in this category, Arnold Schwarzenegger carried his massive mass in that era, without the bloated stomach I just mentioned, instead completing the look with broad shoulders and a narrow waist. His physique was, in essence, the answer to the question, what does aesthetic look like? And it's why he's become a man whose name everyone in the world knows today. Dorian Yates brought a back thickness and hardness never seen on stage before, becoming the man who kicked off bodybuilding's mass monster era. Ronnie Coleman. I'm talking about a man who won 8 consecutive championships. By squatting 360 kilograms in training, he showed everyone just how far superhuman genetics and raw power could take a person, proving himself to the whole community through this category. Phil Heath, meanwhile, became one of the names who managed to win over the judges with the round, 3-dimensional look that was clearly evident in his muscles. 212. Bodybuilding. This category was established in 2011 for athletes who are shorter than the 130-kilogram giants of Men's Open, but possess incredible muscle density. The name 212 comes from the maximum weight limit competitors must meet on the scale. Just like in the Open category, 7 mandatory poses are performed. Here, the judges look at muscle fullness relative to height, muscle striations, and overall condition on stage. Here's some extra information for you. Because shorter athletes have shorter muscle bellies, with the right training, they can present a much more dense and rounded muscle look than Open competitors. The clearest limit is 212 pounds, or exactly 96.2 kilograms. That means even if you weigh in at 96.3 kilograms on competition morning, the rules disqualify you. Men competing in this category are typically between 1.65 and 1.70 meters tall. They pack so much muscle into that 96 kilogram limit that their range of motion becomes biomechanically restricted, and their joints struggle enormously to carry that mass. Among the legends who left their mark on this class, James Lewis built an unshakable dynasty by winning 7 consecutive titles, writing his name into the 212 category in gold letters. Sean Clarida, nicknamed the Giant Killer, packed such muscle density and hardness into his short frame that he knocked out men far taller than himself, one after another, on stage. Kamal El-Gargni, despite being older than his rivals, brought flawless, fully striated, mature muscle quality to the stage and took the trophy from younger competitors with ease. Classic physique. It was established in 2016 for people who had grown tired of bodybuilding's raw mass look and missed the legendary Arnold-era aesthetic. This is where broad shoulders, a tiny waist, and stunning flowing lines compete. Unlike Open, the poses here are more artistic. The signature pose of this category is the vacuum pose, pulling the stomach all the way in to make the midsection disappear. Rather than focusing on muscle size overall, the judges look at the shoulder-to-waist ratio and whether the body flows as flawlessly as a sculpture on stage. This category has a far stricter height-to-weight ratio chart than the others. Whatever your height in centimeters is, that determines the maximum weight you're allowed to bring on stage. If you build too much muscle mass for your height, the judges will either boot you straight into the open category or eliminate you. The physical limit here is having to maintain the aesthetic this category demands, while simultaneously building your muscle mass to perfection. If your genetics tend toward a thicker waist, you won't even be able to breathe in this category. Chris Bumstead stands out in this aesthetic battle. We all know him, if nothing else, from social media edits. By winning 6 consecutive championships, he retaught the world golden era aesthetics and turned this category into a massive brand. Between 2019 and 2024, he was genuinely the leading figure in this category. Brian Ansley became the man who set the standard for muscle density in the category's early years, particularly with his back and leg detail, laying the groundwork for the category's reputation. Danny Hester, as the category's first champion, proved to everyone on that stage that proper proportion and aesthetics matter more than raw mass. Men's physique. Introduced to the Mr. Olympia stage in 2013, this is the category commonly known as the beach body look, though in reality, it's steroid-fueled beach guys competing. Competitors take the stage in nothing but plain, knee-length swim trunks. Since the leg muscles stay hidden under the shorts in this category, they aren't scored by the judges. Only the calves are evaluated. Rather than flexing hard like in open, competitors strike more relaxed, aesthetic, smiling poses. The judges focus entirely on the V shape of the upper body, the roundness of the shoulder caps, chest aesthetics, and the symmetry of the abdominal muscles. The only limit in this category, kid, is having a genetically narrow pelvic structure. If your hip structure is wide, it doesn't matter what you do, you won't place in this category. In recent years, this category has grown so much that upper body mass is now starting to approach that of open athletes. The biggest physical limitation is loading so many chemicals into the upper body while neglecting leg training that it leads to dramatic anatomical imbalance and posture problems. Looking at those who've left their mark on this shorts-wearing crew, Jeremy Buendia, as the category's first great dominant champion, took the standards to new heights with his aggressive stage presence and flawless chest-shoulder line. Brandon Hendrickson dominated the stage time and again with his tremendously wide back and rear shoulder structure, demonstrating the importance of backside anatomy. Erin Banks shook up the throne and clinched the championship with that massive V-taper look and his high stage charisma. Ryan Terry, with his razor-sharp, symmetrical abs and aesthetic proportions, has represented this category's most consistent visual image for years.